What is going on, everyone? It's Tyler Shelton, and this is Coffee with a Beauty Reviewer. I'm your friendly neighborhood coffee snob, and today, folks, I'm giving you my review for the movie Jurassic World Dominion. So, I'm just very excited to tell you how I feel about this movie. So, let's get started with today's video. Jurassic World Dominion stars a big cast of the people that we've met in the Jurassic World franchise and also from the original Jurassic Park films, which includes Sam Neill, Laura Dern, and Jeff Goldblum, and a couple notable other characters from the previous films. But overall, I would have to say is that this one is just kind of like a simpler movie where it felt like it didn't have to be so like very scientific, kind of like how they did in the previous film, which is actually probably the worst in the entire franchise as a whole. But the first thing I wanted to do is just tell you where I would put this movie within the whole franchise, because there's a total of 6 of these now, but I would still prefer the original one to be my number 1 favorite, then Jurassic World, then Jurassic Park number 2, and then this one, Jurassic World Dominion. And then the rest is like Jurassic Park number 3 and Jurassic World number 2. But so this one is just kind of like in the midway section, because in general I actually really do think that the whole franchise, all 6 films, I mean, like more than half of them are actually really good. And this one is definitely among like the good ones, because like when you look at kind of like all these different films, they're kind of like good in their own weird way. But without a doubt, like I really do think that this one is way better than Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World number 2. So at least it's not the worst. But I would still have to say is that this is just a good, solid, entertaining film that's just all about dinosaurs roaming the entire planet. But the story is all about dinosauric locusts. And apparently there's this organization that sounds very reminiscent of someone that we all know in real life. I'm not really gonna specify who I'm talking about, but you might call me a conspiracy theorist, but you know what? I have my own opinions on how I feel in the whole worldly situation. But without a doubt, there's just like this evil organization, and it's being run by an absolutely dumb yet very clever villain. He's not like that twisting his mustache. He's not that kind of a villain. So I'm really glad that they didn't make him to be like just the most typical villain. But I just really enjoyed just that it felt like that this guy, which is actually the same actor who played Peter Parker's father in the Amazing Spider-Man franchise. So I don't know who he is as an actor, but you know what? I think he did a pretty good job with what he was given with, because I think the real lackluster part of this movie was all in the writing, the script, the story itself. I think it could have been a lot better, especially the fact that the main villain of this movie was kind of the locusts. So like, I mean, yeah, there are other villains, such as that one guy that reminds me of one particular actual person in real life. And there's also like this other person that's kind of like an admin to the main organization. And she's just kind of like this low-key villain. And you just got like this other villain, which is the Gigantosaurus. So like there's a lot of like miniature villains in this movie. But it really didn't feel like that they did a good job in just kind of like condensing this movie into kind of like a unique experience. I think that was the very part that this movie really lacked. but either from the story or from the characters or even like the special effects, because without a doubt, I actually couldn't stop looking away from this movie because all of the dinosaurs, all the CGI, and even like some characters like Chris Pratt and even Sam Neill, Laura Dern. And you know what? I think they were kind of like the main stars of this whole movie because they were the ones who I think had the most screen time. So it was just a nice change of pace that we got to see kind of like other characters that we have not seen in a long time. That it really felt like that they were just going back to what made the original really good. Because like in any given moment, you would actually see animatronic dinosaurs when it was just more kind of like how you see How I Am, like it was like from like torso to the head. That is when you see actual animatronic dinosaurs, and they looked so good. But when they draw the camera back to give like a full-on body of the dinosaurs, the CGI was a little bit wonky. But either way, it was still a really great experience because you get to see kind of like this awe-inspiring, inspirational shot of all these beautiful dinosaurs, but both terrifying and beautiful to look at. I mean, that's the very big scope of this movie, because that's how I see this movie. It is beautiful, but yet messy. That's how I see this movie. There's a lot of greatness in this movie, but I feel like that the execution could have been way better. I feel like that the story could have been better. Overall, this is just a fun, entertaining movie. If you just want to turn your brain off, enjoy some popcorn, enjoy it with your family or your friends, I think you would enjoy this movie just for what it is. And the fact is that it is not the worst. But when it comes down to my ranking, is that I'm not dismissing the fact that this is a very entertaining film, and I think you would enjoy it. But it does have a lot of problems, and there is actually there's actually one movie reviewer here on YouTube that has really described these kind of films before, and you can actually check him out here on YouTube. His name is Sean Chandler, but he has his own channel. Subscribe to him because he's really good too. But I have to agree what he said about this movie is that it's a lot of fun, it's very messy, easy to digest, but it's got problems, and I would call this movie a Taco Bell film. Very delicious, but very messy. But I would have to give this movie a good 7.5 out of 10. So that was my review for Jurassic World Dominion. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching my video. If you have not yet done so, please subscribe to my channel, as it really helps us out here. And also press the like button. Don't press the dislike button, that's a bad one. Anyways, keep on drinking coffee, and I will see you guys next time.